Tonight on News 5 Live, a Ladyville resident is charged for the murder of Freddie Chicas, whose body was found near the 8 Mile community on Friday. The controversial trade license bill is back and will be tabled in the House once again. And tonight on Belize on Real, we'll take you to rural Belize district where a roadside farm is feeding several communities. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
Staying connected with your loved ones while traveling is even more important during this global pandemic. With Digi, this is even easier and more convenient with our data roaming plans. Postpaid customers have instant access to mobile data when in 41 destinations worldwide. With 3 affordable plans, starting at only $28, it's easy to instantly connect via your favorite digital platform. To purchase your data roaming plan, contact Digi before your travel date. If you are already abroad, you can contact us via email at digihelp@livedigi.com or via WhatsApp at 608-8888. For more information, visit our website at livedigi.com/digicel or visit a Digi store near you. You can roam, stay safe, and stay connected with Digi.
Hey, babe, I need some cash.
Okay, right now transfer some.
Short on cash? Make up the difference with V-Bucks. Transfer V-Bucks quickly and easily. Enjoy your shopping experience at V-Mart or any other Benny's entity and get rewarded today.
Mom, nothing fast, but how you do that just now?
V-Bucks?
V-Bucks, rewarding loyalty.
From Corozal to Toledo, Belize is a melting pot of cultures. Travel with us as we take you to a different part of the country each week in a special series called This is Our Belize, People, Food and Culture, brought to you by the Belize Tourism Board. Starting March 15th, watch the episodes on Wednesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. on the National Channel and the Belize Hotel Association channel, and at 7:30 p.m. on Channel 5, and Fridays on Love TV at 7:30 p.m. Episodes will also premiere on Thursdays on the Belize Tourism Board's Facebook page and YouTube channel. This is Our Belize, People, Food and Culture.
More money is being provided for the following high priority areas. An additional $4 million to expand the free education program to schools in the south side of Belize City and the Toledo district. In addition, $1 million to fund the surveying and processing cost of lots for first-time low-income house owners. In addition, $7 million for the expansion of the National Health Insurance Program in the Orange Walk District. An additional $3 million for municipal streets and drains. An increase of $5 million to meet the recruitment of an additional 225 police cadets, 110 BDF recruits, and some 60 Coast Guard recruits. An additional $1 million to support the Financial Intelligence Unit, including the establishment of a civil asset forfeiture and recovery unit to combat corruption.
Taking its name from the venerable father of the nation, the George Price Highway stretches 77 miles from Belize City to Benqueviejo. Originally built in the 1930s, this cross-country highway system is the artery that links Belize to Central America at the western border with Guatemala. That connection facilitates overland trade, supporting Belize's economic development. Winding its way across the scenic countryside, the George Price Highway from Roaring Creek to Esperanza has been fully reconstructed to meet international standards, with particular emphasis on road safety. A shorter and hassle-free commute is best enjoyed when everyone obeys the traffic laws. To reduce the number and frequency of road traffic accidents, it means that a seatbelt must be worn at all times and the speed limit observed when traveling along the highway. It also means that pedestrians must use sidewalks and crosswalks where available. Buses should only board and discharge passengers at a designated bus stop. Road safety is everyone's responsibility. It begins with you.
Women innovators, women creators, women in art. The Institute of Creative Arts invites the public to its annual event in celebration of Women's Month, Women in Art, a 3-day event all happening at the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. Starting on Thursday, March 16th at 7 p.m., it's the opening of the art exhibit showcasing original artwork inside the Belial Gallery, featuring live performances. Then on Friday, March 17th at 6 p.m., join the discussion on this year's theme with our guest speaker, Lucia Ellis, followed right after by an art therapy session by Artist Gala. Wrapping it all up on Saturday, March 18th from 12 noon, support all things Belizean as women entrepreneurs take over Southern Foreshore for the Sisterhood Pop-Up Marketplace, with the best in handmade designs and crafts, including a fashion runway by the sea. It's Women in Art 2023, Women's Work, Balance and Equity for Wellness.
I met my husband through a friend and we got married the year after. All he wanted to do was to be a humanitarian. We had a birthday party for him, and the day after the birthday, he called me and he said, "My wife, I'm having some terrible migraines." We went to the doctor's office and the doctor gave us the news that it was actually lung cancer, stage 4. He did the first surgery and he was looking good, but about 3 weeks later he said, "I don't think I could do this." And he took his last breath and he passed away 3 o'clock in the morning.
My name is Marcia Samuels White. I am an insurance advisor for R&G Life Insurance. I have been reaching out to Ms. Palacio for almost 2 years.
I remember my good friend Marcia. I remember her telling me, "Annie, you need to get your life insurance. You need to get yourself grounded and feel comfortable."
I found out that her husband had passed.
I was wondering, what am I supposed to do? How do I now take on the role of the breadwinner?
Everything has gotten real, knowing that she would be that only parent now to provide for the children. She said, you know what, it was time for her to really put what I proposed to her into action.
She said, "Don't worry, everything will be okay. We will work with you," and that's exactly what she did.
I would advise anybody who has family, who have young children that they're taking care of, to think about it. Come in and talk to an insurance advisor. Make that first step and provide that financial security for their families.
I'm happy to be a part of R&G Life. It has really made me feel comfortable to know that I don't want anything to happen, but if it does, that my kids will be set. And I was grateful for that.
The great Dr. Martin Luther King would be shouting from the footsteps of the Belize Civic Center, "Free at last! Thank God Almighty! Kirk Shabba Smith Jr. is free at last!" This is what the entire Belize District and beyond have been waiting for. And it's going to be a dynamite Friday night, this Friday, March 17th, at the Belize Civic Center. We're inviting you to the big debut the young and dynamic Kirk Shabba-Smith Jr. and the Venice Belize Hurricanes, battling the boys from deep south, the Punta Gorda Panthers, in a game dubbed as Free Kirk Smith Jr. Freedom! This mega game of the year is gonna be epic, and the PG Panthers is walking into a ferocious Category 5 storm that is raging and wailing, taking and not sparing any roof. This Cat 5 lineup is led by Clancy Cooper Lopez, Ian Renee, Chris Fraser, Jamel Harris, and now added to the lineup, Kirk Shabba-Smith Jr. With all talking and the suppression of this young dynamic player, one thing we know for certain: they can't keep a good man down. Bring out the entire family this Friday, March 17 at the Belize Civic Center. Venice Belize Hurricanes versus Punta Gorda Panthers in this free Kirk Shabba-Smith Jr. game. The halftime show will feature the highly entertaining, marvelous Marlene Vansard dropping her hit song, Be Kind. How about a half-court shot to win $4,000? Remember to sign up for the Serena Bay Villas First 5 $4,000 contest. Primary schoolers and high schoolers, bring out your posters and compete for the $500 prize. Lots of phone and tablet giveaways, courtesy of Smart and Cellular World.
Hurricanes are one big family.
The after party will be at Thirsty Thursdays. Sponsors.
Yo, respect the city. Love the game. Family. Belize Hurricanes. Hurricanes are one big family.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Thursday, March 16th. I am Sabrina Daly. Last Friday, the decomposing remains of Freddie Chicas was discovered in the vicinity of the 8 Mile community. He was executed, shot once to the head. Today, police formally arrested and charged Bevan Curtis Alford, an 18-year-old laborer of Ladyville, for the crime of murder. Earlier today, when the media caught up with Deputy Commissioner of Police, Dr. Richard Rosado, he was asked about the suspect, who was a youth similar to those that are being engaged by the Leadership Intervention Unit.
Today, actually, an 18-year-old from right here in Ladyville was charged with murder. How important is it for you guys to reach that, vulnerable, that population between like 16 maybe going on to 18, because that's where we see a lot of these young men commit these violent crimes?
I think it is very important as a society, as stakeholders, as government agencies, that we must reach out to all individuals, include all at-risk individuals, all those individuals who are in prone areas that are likely to commit crime, and provide to them the necessary support system in order for them to become productive members of society.
19-year-old Damian Dawson, a resident of Belama Phase 4, is accused of harming a 14-year-old male minor, despite an explanation before the lower court that amounts to self-defense. On Wednesday night, sometime before 10 p.m., Dawson allegedly struck the teenager as he rode a bicycle near the corners of Crawl Road and Neils Penn Road. According to Dawson, he was walking with his girlfriend when the youth sped up and rode in front of them and began hurling insults at the couple. Dawson further stated that the teenager, who allegedly has a history of taunting him, then pushed the bicycle towards them, and that's when he instinctively slapped the minor. The boy, in the company of his mother, visited the police station and filed a report and subsequently presented a pair of medical legal forms. Earlier today, Dawson appeared unrepresented before Senior Magistrate Aretha Ford, where he was read a single charge of harm. The Senior Magistrate rejected Dawson's plea and entered an unequivocal plea of not guilty before offering him bail. He is set to return to court on May 17th. 32-year-old Gregory Aaron Brown, an American national of Connecticut, says he arrived in Belize seeking asylum. He was, however, busted for living in Belize illegally and was today brought before Acting Chief Magistrate Tricia Pitts Anderson on an immigration offense. He was handed a non-custodial sentence but was unable to pay a fine of $1,000 and is now serving a 6-month sentence. A removal order has been granted and Brown must be deported back to the United States within 2 weeks of paying his fine or completing his sentence. 2021 was a record year for plane landings in Belize. At the time, it appeared as though illegal plane landings were occurring on a weekly basis across the country. In 2022, those reports significantly decreased, and months have passed since we have reported on any confirmed drug plane landing on Belizean territory. So, what has changed? Well, according to Karim Musa, the Minister of Home Affairs, law enforcement officers are now better equipped to deter these planes from landing in Belize. He says these planes are now flying over Belize to land in Guatemala.
Just this week, Marisol, and if I were to give an interview every time a plane comes into a region, it would be every single day. Every night, our police officers, our operations team receives intelligence, information that illicit aircrafts have left South America coming to our region. We spread out all across this country to the known points. We have a good radar system. We do have joint cooperation with other countries in the region who provide us with intelligence and information. And that, I would say, is the #1 reason that we've been able to deter those aircrafts from landing in Belize. Right now, it seems that the preferred landing spot for them is in Guatemala. I believe one landed there last week but was caught, apprehended, and I believe one may have landed, if not last night, the night before. And so we see a general trend whereby, yes, they're coming into our region, but they're going across Belize and landing in Guatemala. We continue with our efforts to deter these aircraft from landing in Belize. Like I said, it's every single night, almost every single night that our officers are deployed to deal with this.
Coming up, Belize network of NGOs writes to Prime Minister over NPO Bill 2023. Find out the details when we come back.
At Brothers Habet and Habet, we are proud to support and celebrate Women's Month. This year, the theme is Embracing Equity, and we believe that everyone deserves equal opportunity and access to the tools they need to make their dreams a reality. That's why, for the entire month of March, we are offering all women a special 15% discount on all products store-wide. Whether you're a professional, a DIY enthusiast, or just looking to tackle a home improvement project, we have everything you need to get the job done. So come on down to Habet and Brothers Habet and embrace equity. Let's work together to break down barriers and empower all women to build a brighter future. From all of us at Brothers Habet and Habet, Happy Women's Month.
Belize Commercial Laundry and Linens is a new, automated, state-of-the-art and safety-engineered commercial laundry facility in Belize, offering a full array of top-quality laundry and linen services for Belize's healthcare and commercial sectors countrywide, including hotels, resorts, and restaurants. For more information on how we can serve you, contact us at telephone 227-3396 or info@belizelaundry.com.
Live your best life and explore more with Samsung. Go on an adventure, travel in style, and capture your memories with a Galaxy. This month, Samsung phones start at an extremely low price of only $309, and Galaxy Tab start at only $399. The full Galaxy lineup includes the A03, A04, A23, A33, A53, S20 FE, Z Flip, Z Fold 4, Tab A7, and the latest and most innovative release, the S23 series. Perfect for capturing all of life's adventures. Plus, when you buy any A-series device, you'll get a free 32GB SD card. Shop these awesome devices at any of Samsung's authorized resellers countrywide, including Cellular World, Digi, Quartz, and Odette's Home Center, and get 1-year local warranty with your purchase. So venture out and explore more with Samsung.
More money is being provided for the following high priority areas. An additional $4 million to expand the free education program to schools in the south side of Belize City and the Toledo district. In addition, $1 million to fund the surveying and processing cost of lots for first-time low-income house owners. In addition, $7 million for the expansion of the National Health Insurance Program in the Orange Walk District.
Join us for an engaging and inspiring service from Sagebrush Church that the whole family will love. Each week, you will have the opportunity to take part in amazing worship and learn how you can make your personal relationship with God a priority. Watch us on TV, stream us online, or visit us in person at one of our 8 physical locations. Go to sagebrush.church or download the Sagebrush app to find locations and times to watch.
Today, the media caught up with Minister of Labor Oscar Requena at a workshop on child labor. We'll have that story later in the newscast. But we took the opportunity to get an update on the trade licensing bill. Viewers will remember that back in May 2022, there was pushback by several persons, including small-scale entrepreneurs and creatives in the entertainment sector, who were of the opinion that they stood to be affected by its implementation. In fact, several members of the entertainment industry presented their concerns at a House committee meeting back on May 23, 2022. The government has been in consultation with various stakeholders since then, and today, Requena says that significant progress has been made with the bill, and it is soon ready to be tabled at the House of Representatives once again.
I had presented that bill last year for the first reading, and then it went to House committee meetings, and we had several stakeholders, voicing their concerns. There were concerns particularly from the artist community, the DJs, and so on. And, we're a government that listens. People have genuine concerns. We have to sit down, we have to listen. So there were several, meetings in which they had an opportunity to be able to, to sit down, to voice their concerns with dialogue. And I can say to you that that bill has gone through significant, cleaning up. It is at a point where, the bill has now been taken back to House Committee. And really, I was informed that, the House Committee was very much pleased, both government and opposition, with, some of the changes that were made to the bill. And we are now ready to, I'm getting ready to take the bill back to the House. And we are hoping that, once it goes through the House, we are then going to announce when it is going to be implemented. This is a very important bill, both for the urban and the rural areas. And I want to make it significantly clear that no rural community or no rural business establishment should be worried that we are going to be taxing the small little business. We're not looking at a trade license for, the small tacos, the small panade shop, the small little meat shop. No. We have a clear, category that we're looking at. The business establishments must be greater than, must be equal to or greater than 600 square feet in terms of their business operation area, what we call the productive space, before, they are considered for, a trade license.
If you run or actively participate in a nonprofit organization, then you may want to keep a close eye on the government's recently tabled Nonprofit Organization Bill 2023. The Belize network of NGOs has signaled several concerns with the proposed legislation, and has gone ahead to bring those concerns to the Prime Minister via a letter. The Nonprofit Organization Bill 2023 was introduced to the House of Representatives on Friday last week, and according to BNN, they only became aware of it after the sitting, when Janelle Chanona, the senator for NGOs, received an invitation to attend a committee meeting for today, where the bill would be considered. The letter says, quote, "We take the position that the introduction of a Nonprofit Organization Bill 2023 without any presentation or consultation whatsoever with non-governmental organizations, as well as those entities who would be included in the definition of nonprofit organizations, is contrary to good governance," unquote. The committee meeting scheduled for today was held, and information to News 5 is that a decision was taken not to repeal the existing NGO Act, as was initially indicated. Instead, the NPO Act will be introduced as a new and separate legislation. So how will this new legislation affect nonprofit organizations across Belize as it seeks to combat terrorism financing and money laundering? Today, we caught up with Henry Charles Usher, the Minister of Public Service, at an event in Belize City where he was asked to comment on the situation.
As you rightly said, they have been, this is not something new, this is something that the FIU and different organizations have been approaching the NGOs and the non-profit organizations on. The bill was prepared by the Attorney General's Ministry. They will have an opportunity when it goes to House Committee, and they will also have an opportunity in the Senate. They have representation in the Senate.
So do you see this bill being stayed for some time, given their request and the time limit that they would have to make objections?
The issue is that this is a package of bills that have to be introduced and have to be passed in order for the next round of the CFATF certification that is happening for Belize. I believe that's going to be in December of this year, and there are different legislations that are required to be passed. This is just one of them. It's not anything too difficult, and I'm sure that with some discussions that the parts of the bill can be explained.
So where does that discussion happen?
Well, the discussion is always happening. There's always a discussion between the relevant ministry and the different organizations. It also happens at House Committee where they can make presentations. And like I said, they have the opportunity to bring it up in the Senate.
A little over $17 million have been earmarked for recurrent expenditure in the Ministry of Public Service for the new fiscal year. That is close to $4 million more than last year's estimates. On the other hand, the estimated expenditure of capital to investments has more than doubled, from $1.4 million to $3.4 million, with the largest portion falling under the category of Public Service Strategic Management and Administration. When we caught up with Henry Charles Usher, the minister responsible for the public service, we asked him to tell us what Belizeans can expect from his presentation next week. He said, "We will have to wait and see." But he did give us his general thoughts on the overall budget.
The budget that was presented by the Prime Minister, the Minister of Finance, it is a big budget, $1.4 billion. No new taxes. In fact, taxes are being reduced on certain products. We see that the economy continues to grow at a faster pace than was anticipated. We expect it to slow down a little bit this fiscal year, but we still expect to do better than what is being projected. What is important is that we have a primary surplus, that we continue to have primary surpluses, and that we can bring eventually an overall surplus when it comes to our balance sheet. So I think that's critical. We are working very hard to carry out the initiatives, the plans in our Plan Belize manifesto, and we'll continue to do that.
Are there plans to de-reserve the Machaca Reserve in southern Belize? The simple answer is yes. The Machaca Forest Reserve is located in Toledo and is situated nearby La Guana and Dump community and extends to new Mabilha and Aguacate villages. Today, Toledo West Area Representative Oscar Requena confirmed to the media that he had requested to de-reservation of the area to provide land to his constituents. But as it would appear, that plan is not going to be easy. Requena explains.
What I can say to you is that I am the area representative for Toledo West. And, as the representative, we have young Belizeans, And we also have senior citizens who don't own a house lot, who don't have a place on which to build their homes. So they come to me and they say, Minister, we want you to help us to find a piece of land. We want a lot. And I have to be very proactive. I have to ensure that I listen to my people and find a way to resolve that. So what I did is I approached the Minister of Sustainable Development, the Honorable Landy Habet, as well as the Deputy Prime Minister, Minister of Natural Resources, and said, gentlemen, here is the situation. We need to see where we can locate some land. Given that, most of the lands are currently under the communal land system, we have to find a way where we can help to address, the concerns of my constituents. And subsequent to that, there was a cabinet paper that was taken to cabinet for the de-reservation of a portion of that reserve to make lots available. And, we have been pursuing that process. Unfortunately, we have met some roadblocks because, Laguna, is saying, well, this area, belongs to us, and Emery Grove is also saying, this area belongs to us. So certainly, we have to continue the dialogue and find a way, find some middle ground so that, ultimately, whilst we understand and respect the ruling of the court, we also called upon our communities and our leaders to also understand that our people have needs and we have to find a way to address those needs.
After the break at Yemi Farm, Belizeans enjoy farm life and fresh produce. We'll tell you about that, but first, here's the weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
Energy Challenge just got better. You have more time to study, register, and win. Register online at pel.com.bz/energychallenge by Monday, March 20th. Students, high schools, start preparing. Log in anytime from Monday, March 27th to Friday, March 31st to complete the challenge. It only takes 1 hour to complete the challenge. And you could win one of 100 laptops, one of 25 $500 tuition vouchers, or one of 25 $250 stationery vouchers. The top 3 high schools also receive cash prizes of $1,000, $2,000, and $3,000. Study anything and everything. Let's Talk Energy on our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube pages. Register now and get ready for BEL's High School Energy Challenge.
The last time we visited Miss Francesca Howers was to deliver the exciting news that she was chosen to receive a home sponsored by SMART for its 18th anniversary through the Hand in Hand Ministries housing program. Since then, she has actively been participating in attending Saturday sessions to improve her life skills, cleared her property for its foundation and construction of her home, and has assisted in the construction of a home for another recipient of Hand in Hand housing program. All these activities are to foster a more responsible, responsive citizen in our community.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, enter the information, and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap Split the bill. Select Evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with, and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
If you are ailing due to a chronic disease and are left permanently invalid before retirement age, you may want to check if you qualify to receive invalidity benefit. The invalidity benefit exists for persons who are unable to continue working due to permanent illness. To qualify, you must be under 60 years old, must be sick for 26 consecutive weeks and certified to be medically unable to perform any type of work, must have at least 5 years of paid SSB contributions and at least 5 paid within the 3 months leading up to your illness. If you do not qualify for the invalidity pension, you may be eligible for the invalidity grant. Want to know more about invalidity benefit? Visit our website or contact any of our offices to have someone assist you. Also, be sure to visit our Facebook page and give us a like to stay informed. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
On this episode of Caribbean Passport, we celebrate the New Year of the Rabbit with a spring festival. We explore the Courtleigh Hotel and Suites in Jamaica, and we indulge our passion for fashion. It's Caribbean Passport right here on this station.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's daily obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video, or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
It's time that we realize that we must work together to thrive. As we know it, the sky and below it. Could I never have more wonder? Yeah, with life and all you see and the climate's changing, but hope is remaining. And we can't ignore the future. It depends on you and me. One chance, all that we got. One voice, together we stand. Take care, the world where we live. Permite a todos vivir. Tomamos la oportunidad para guardar la humanidad. And I must leave no one behind because we are. One climate, one Caribbean. One climate, one Caribbean.
Tonight on Belize on Real, we visit a family-owned farm in the Belize district that continues to grow in popularity for a variety of meat produce being delivered to your favorite supermarkets. Yemi Farm started off as a small operation by former Immigration Director Mario Arzu in 2012. Since then, it has taken off as more and more customers are placing orders for local chicken eggs, lamb chops, and various pork products. It's an operation that has expanded to employ a small, dedicated staff of men and women who are all about farm life. Here's News 5's Isani Cayetano with that story.
It's feeding time and the animals are all in a frenzy. In the sty, the female hogs are grunting loudly. Across the pasture, sheep are bleating noisily and running together in a flock. This harmony of sounds is unmistakable and unique to the rural experience. Welcome to Yemi Farms, Belize, an expanse of agricultural land just outside of Crooked Tree Village.
Mr. Arzu had this farm going a while now. I think he officially launched it in like 2013, but it was going on before that. This farm sits on about 20 acres of land, and it's using less than half right now.
The brainchild of career public officer Mario Arzu and his wife, this operation has grown from a simple love for agrarian life to a promising business that feeds many, including those employed at the farm.
Currently on premises, we have about 18 people. We have the guys in the field who essentially will tend to the animals and the plant, because we have guys plant corn, and sometimes we even plant grass to feed the sheep.
On Yemi Farm, there is always a lot for these farmhands to do. These daily activities are overseen by Matthew Williams, who is in charge of ensuring that everything runs smoothly from the fallow and the piggery to the meat processing plant. Inside the pen, the maternity ward as it is also known, the sows are all in different phases of pregnancy. Others have just given birth and are quite likely to attack. They are fed and carefully inspected.
When they are pregnant, we actually we have our sign here that when they are pregnant, we write it down the date and also the farrowing date. Sometimes a lot of stress because especially when they have young ones, some of them are very aggressive,
10 years ago, the Arzu family decided to venture into animal husbandry. Since then, they've invested a lot of time and money into raising livestock. Over time, the demand for pork, lamb, and other meats has increased significantly. At the slaughterhouse, it's business as usual.
We have the supervisor from the meat room would go and select an animal, one that looks good for slaughtering, and he would contact Mr. Williams, who's in charge of the livestock, and he would then bring the animal here to the slaughterhouse, where the guys would then take him out and, cut him up in small pieces so you can have it on the table.
The process isn't as easy and straightforward as it seems. Actually, it requires a degree of skill and precision that often forces butchers as well as meat packers to work in concert. That aspect of the business is overseen by Jerome Locke, who also doubles as Yemi's IT manager.
I have been here from 2012 when the business just started, and the business is now flourishing, and that is something I like to see.
Were there any challenges for you as someone who was perhaps getting used to being on a farm? How did you transition from perhaps city life to being here on the edges of the district?
Well, the only challenge is sometimes is to wake up early and try to get the farm on the road now. I mean, it's a business, it's a family business, and working here has been a great experience for me because then I grew up on a farm.
While Locke grew up on a farm, his colleagues are equally enjoying the life. The goal, however, is to provide fresh produce to customers across Belize District. This is being done by establishing retail outlets in Vista Del Mar and Belize City.
We have both commercial and we have individual customers who make orders, and we honor everything. Being located in this vicinity, most of the customers are in Belize City. Right? There was a time we used to do a few runs in Orange Walk, but that has died down. We mainly go into Belize City. And we would take advantage of the villages along the way. So anybody who lives along the path to Belize City get free delivery on whatever they order, right? And the owner is very progressive, and when he saw the opportunity to open a branch in Vista and in Belize City, he jumped on it, and those branches are operational and doing well.
Expanding the business has also meant including scheduled runs for deliveries.
We take the orders down. When it goes in the group chat, the meat room sees the order. The meat room supervisor then makes sure that order is fulfilled. Whether it's to do a slaughter, if we have the meat here already, everything is prepared. Coming in the morning, we go through our list of orders, we make sure everything is bagged, packed, and send the truck off to do the deliveries.
For this budding medium enterprise, staff appreciation is equally as important as customer satisfaction.
I enjoy being here, as a part of the Yemi Farm family.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Kayetano.
A group of 50 women is now better equipped to launch their own business ventures following an 8-week skills training course. Peacework Belize and the Taiwan International Cooperation and Development Fund partnered to organize classes in cake making, jewelry making, sewing, pedicure, and manicure. The exercise officially came to an end today with a certification ceremony where the graduates were recognized and given the opportunity to share testimonials before an audience of family, friends and fellow classmates. News 5's Paul Lopez reports.
This morning, a total of 46 women graduated from an Empowered and Resilient Women Training course hosted by Peacework Belize and the Taiwan ICDF. During this training, these women from across the Belize district were equipped with a variety of marketable skills that can lead to self-employment.
I don't know nothing about baking cake. Thanks to my teacher, Miss Janine, she taught us a lot about cake. The first thing she taught us and told us that when we make this chocolate cake, they will tell with a pot cake. And it was true, because the first time I made my my scratch cake, it was like pot cake. I carry home, my baby pa said, home, this is like pot cake. I said, this is not pot cake, this is a scratch. I will take my opportunity to carry it to my community, because I don't have nobody of our community that bake cake. So I will take my opportunity and my skills that I learned and take it up there and open my own business and start a cake business and start to sell. I will sell slices, I will sell whole cake, birthday cake, Christmas party, wedding. You name it, I will have them.
I would just like to say that how I learned a lot from this program. I even started my own business. I never want to call it this, but that my past make I call. And I appreciate it because I really learned a lot from it. But I made my own business. I started with my best friend Chloe. And I learned how to make bracelet and my power helped me. And I just want to say thanks to Miss Carol Bob because she helped me a lot during this.
Shahira Young was also among the women who successfully completed the training. She says she entered the pedicure and manicure classes with no knowledge in the field. She has since been empowered with the confidence to start her own venture.
Bear in mind, I don't have no knowledge of what I was supposed to do. I was scared and didn't know if I would do well. As the week progresses, I became more confident and more comfortable in what I was doing, and that's thanks to the amazing mentor. I would like her to stand up and give her a round of applause, Miss Sharon Tilly. Pedicures taught me how to relax, putting your mind at ease. It boosts my self-confidence because that makes my feet look great. It also a mental health benefit as it encourages my well-being. As I end off, resilience is the ability to bounce back in the face of challenges, losses, and adversity. This is not the end for all us women. It is only the beginning of something great. Women can, women will.
The keynote speaker at today's event was Henry Charles Usher, the Minister of Public Service. Usher recounted the work ethics he learned while employed by his grandmother, Jane Usher, the founder of the credit union movement in Belize.
This program has taught you or improved in you a marketable skill. It is now up to you to market it. I know it may seem challenging and there will be frustrations and setbacks, but you are now masters of your own destinies. You don't have to wait for a job to be available. I'm sure you have heard the saying, when opportunity knocks, you must answer. Well, I am here to tell you that sometimes opportunity doesn't knock. You might have to build the door so that opportunity knocks on your door. I can't end this morning, and we spoke about this earlier, without mentioning the most powerful, resilient woman, the most get it done, damn the consequences, let's go woman I have ever known, Dr. Jane Usher, my grandmother. Some of you, I think the MC said that women are coming for us men. Well, I can tell you this, I grew up in that house with Jane Usher. It was us men that had to keep up with her. It wasn't the other way around. We had to keep up with her. She went to work earliest, she got there around 6 in the morning, and she left the latest. Every day until she was over 100 years old. And if you got to work 1 minute late and walked in, she would say, son, what happened? He said, I'm 45 years older than you, and you want to get late for work? I said, but Grand, no, Grand, this. He said, I'm your boss. I say, sorry, manager.
I am strong, I'm invincible, invincible.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Last year, the Briseno administration piloted a free education program on Southside Belize City. It was a campaign promise under the People's United Party's Plan Belize manifesto. Today, Toledo West Area Representative Oscar Requena confirmed to the media that, come September, the free education program will be rolled out in the Toledo district. While the list of schools that will benefit has not been finalized, Requena says the news is welcoming.
That is welcome news, and that is delivering on our commitment on the Plan Belize. There is no better opportunity than to provide greater access and opportunity for our children to get a good education. So I am very happy for that.
And can you tell us which high schools will be involved in the program?
Currently, as we have several high schools in the Toledo district, and that matter is still, we're still clarifying that, but I can assure you that, yes, schools in the Toledo district are going to benefit. Whether it is all the schools, we are still, finalizing that with the Ministry of Education.
When we return, 65 youth complete Journey to Freedom healing course at Tubal Vocational Institute.
Inspection first. Once the inspection passes, we do the connection for you.
Our teams at BEL continue to serve you.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
The Journey to Freedom healing program has been gaining momentum in several Belize City high schools as it caters to at-risk youth. Already, at least 3 Belize City high schools, as well as the Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute in Ladyville, have enrolled students. Tubal graduated 65 of its students from the course earlier today. The program comes at a time when crime and violence are prevalent. So the facilitators hope that with this intervention, the course will help the youth to change their mindset, exercise more restraint, and call on a higher being when life overwhelms. News 5's Marian Ali reports.
The course these youths completed today at the Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute in Ladyville will not help them to score high in their academic work, but will be a test for them when life throws that proverbial curveball.
A lot of individuals have the impression that they're alone in their struggles, and the program allows participants to discover that others feel the way they feel, others think the way they think, and together in small groups they can overcome. We're trying to reach as many schools as possible because we realize that many youths are suffering in silence with depression and anxiety. So we normally just reach out to the schools so that we can introduce them to a program like this.
Andrew August is the facilitator of the program, run by the Restore Ministry, a non-government organization. They've also introduced the program at the prison And he says while their situation might be different, finding a better way to cope is the common denominator.
The problems may vary, but end of the day, the common problem, I would say, is trying to bury what you're going through. So even though the problems are different from the guys at the prison and the youths, they're dealing with different problems, but the whole objective is to get them to understand and give them a way to release those problems. Release it, talking about them releasing it, and most importantly, trusting in God.
The program has been running for over a year, with each course offered over a 2-month period. Caden Main is a 16-year-old youth in electrical studies at Tubal. He completed the course today.
Teach how to let go things like change, improve yourself, like humble and manners to people and lot of things. I'm going to go to school later, so that then they just pull me a program and things like that. Well, prepare me for like do better, like do things better, change my mindset, positive, pray more often, I think.
Courtney Sanchez is also 16. She is enrolled in a hospitality and catering program and shared with us that her challenge was coping with the loss of her mother. What did this program teach you?
To properly grieve a loss and to forgive people that hurt you in the past.
You suffered hurt in the past?
Yes, Mom, a lot.
What did that do to you?
Like, I give more trouble and behave out of order.
August says that the program has taken root in schools because of its success rate among troubled youths.
I would say 50 to 60% of change we see in the youths or the adults or whoever we're facilitating to. Because like I said, a lot of people are not exposed to a program like this. They're not exposed to certain information. So the whole goal, like I mentioned, is to just introduce them to it and help them to change their perspective and the way they look at life.
By this reckoning, one would think that this course would be a helpful guide to help those engaged in street crime. Now, in a world where violence seems to reign supreme and anger, there's a lot of that out there, and revenge, everybody just wants bloodshed. How do you make this kind of a program successful, that it overcomes that anger, that it overcomes one's impulse for revenge?
One school at a time, trying to just put the material out there, put the information out there, and going through the activities. Because just like how we develop bad habits, good habits take time as well.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marion Ali.
The Leadership Intervention Unit, in partnership with Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute in Ladyville, today graduated a cohort of over 81 men and women who will now have the opportunity to become entrepreneurs or to be employed in an apprenticeship program. It is part of a strategy to address the crime situation in Belize City, for which the changes are already being realized. News 5's Dwayne Moody reports.
Today marks the culmination of a 5-month-long program where the Ministry of Home Affairs, through the Leadership Intervention Unit, partnered with the Tubal Trade and Vocational Institute to provide specialized training to over 80 persons who have been engaged with LIU. The graduation of this first cohort is a multi-sectoral approach to addressing violence on the streets.
In various aspects, including cosmetology, so we do have a lot of females that are a part of this program. We do have automotive training, AC and refrigeration, and also electrical training. And so today really is a proud moment. It's a pity that, of course, Mr. Dawson is not here to enjoy this moment and to see the graduates. As you know, we've been making quite a difference in terms of the violence on the streets of Belize City in particular. For the last few months it's been fairly quiet, thank God for that. But certainly it is all part of the all-of-government approach This is in conjunction with the Department of Youth Services, the Minister of Youth and Sports. They're also a part of this program, and so that is what we're speaking of when we describe this multi-sectoral approach, bringing everybody together, very deliberate, very purposeful in getting out these types of results. And so the young men and women graduating today, proud moment for them and for their families that they are now trained in particular skills.
Deputy Commissioner of Police Dr. Richard Rosado is an executive member of the Leadership Intervention Unit. He says that to see greater societal improvements and greater reduction in crime, investments must be made in those who are considered a part of the socially excluded population.
We have a large number of individuals who are graduating with marketable skills, individuals who are from the socially excluded population. And I believe this will lead to meaningful income and an increase in the cost of committing a crime. So I believe that the investment that our government is making and its stakeholders is like an insurance policy for greater societal improvement. And the benefit for the individual and the society on a whole is enormous.
So we notice that it's not limited to only men. We also see women included in this program.
Under the Leadership Intervention Unit, we are including both males and females and all ages in terms of in terms of our program. I believe that to empower, we must empower everybody from the socially excluded population.
Among the graduates today is Lauren Panting, a resident of the Gungulung area of Belize City. She speaks of how the program has built her capacity.
The program has and will benefit me because of the fact that it's a self-employed job, and I can also assist others like myself to become entrepreneur. It's very educational, it's been fun, it's a journey, it's struggle, it's ups and downs, but if you are a person that you really want to be successful and succeed, nothing will keep you from getting what you put your mind to.
These programs have been held numerous times and some of the same actors are being engaged. So what makes it different this time around?
If you notice the huge reduction we're seeing in terms of violent crime in Belize City, in terms of the murder, in fact this year alone, we are seeing a 60 to 70% decrease in murders. So I think that speaks a volume for itself. And in what we have right now, we have analyzed the past programs that have been done in the past, all the initiatives, and we have seen what was the challenges, the shortfall, and we have improved on that.
Minister of Home Affairs Karim Musa says that the next step is to provide these graduates with the tools needed to support their business ventures.
There will be follow-up with them, not just in terms of placements within an apprenticeship program, but we will be announcing very shortly that we will be equipping them with the tools and materials that they need to follow up with their trade. Each one of the graduates will be receiving a grant, so to speak, of $1,100 in the necessary equipment. So they won't be getting money, they'll be getting $1,100 worth of the equipment that they need to start up their business.
Dwayne Moody for News 5.
Today at the Biltmore Plaza in Belize City, the Ministry of Labor held a seminar for frontline workers from across various ministries. The child labor training seeks to develop the capacity of the participants to understand what child labor is, how to identify it, and what can be done to eradicate child labor. Minister of Labor Oscar Requena says that the idea is to provide greater opportunities for children to grow in a very safe, nurturing environment. Minister Requena speaks about the implementation of the child labor policy and the aim to reduce all forms of child labor by 2025.
Whilst, on a global level, we see increases in child labor for the region, particularly for Latin America, and even for us in Belize, we are seeing that there is a reduction in the forms of child labor. And I want to say that as a government, we are being very proactive since taking over government. In July, we actually developed a very comprehensive child labor policy. And, we are working very diligently with our labor officers across the country and other stakeholders of our frontline workers, and that is why we're having this training, because we want them to fully understand what is the child labor policy that we have, and what is their role in ensuring that the child labor policy is implemented and that we reduce all forms of child labor by 2025.
How close are we to that goal?
Well, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, and I can say to you that, our ministry is very committed, and as a government, you know of our international obligations. We sign off on a lot of these conventions, and I want to say to you that we are very much proud that, we are working on that to ensure that, Convention 138 and other, conventions are adhered to, and that we work diligently to ensure that we reduce child labor.
But what are these statistics? Well, as has been reported, the data shows that child labor is primarily found within the agricultural sector.
We see a presence, particularly in the rural area, in the agricultural sector. And certainly we need to work with that sector to ensure that, our children are not deprived, from their childhood. That our children are given the opportunity to be able to grow, as I said earlier, in a very safe and nurturing environment. That is not to say, and I want to make it absolutely clear, because, we also need to teach our children, good work ethics, responsibilities, and, for them to be able to do their chores. But that aside, it does not mean that we are going to take the children away from, and put them in very endangered environments, that we are going to take them away from school, that we are going to deprive them from, their childhood opportunities. That is what we seek to ensure that does not happen when we have put in place this national child labor policy. We're providing the training and the support to work with our frontline workers.
Up next, 60,000 Orange Walk residents expected to benefit from NHI program.
At SMART, we embrace change, innovation, and equality. From energy and transport to telecommunications and network technology, our females are bringing their own style of leadership to traditionally male-dominated sectors and breaking down barriers for the next generation. Therefore, fostering our women's sense of self-worth, her decision-making power, her access to opportunities and resources is at the forefront at SMART. SMART celebrates all women this Women's Month under the theme Digital Innovation and Technology for Gender Equality.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the split the bill button where he selects the evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
During his 2023 budget presentation on Friday, Prime Minister John Briceño announced that $7 million have been earmarked for the expansion of the National Health Insurance Program in Orange Walk. It's a huge announcement for residents of that district because they will now be afforded the opportunity to access low-cost, quality healthcare services. On Wednesday, we caught up with Dr. Ramon Figueroa, the general manager of NHI, at an event in Belize City, where he provided greater insight into how the $7 million will be spent.
The $7 million is a projected figure to cover. I think we can manage with $7 million, and that $7 million is an additional to cover the rollout in Orange Walk. And anybody who works with finances and budget knows that when you do projections, you build in assumptions. One assumption, obviously, is that from day one we're covering 100% of the population, which probably won't happen. But we can't predict how fast we will register people, so you need to project on 100% coverage. And you're talking, based on SIB estimates, about 49,000 additional person in Orange Walk. We think it's higher, by the way, but that's the projected figures that we have. We think it's closer to like 60,000, the population in that area. So those are assumptions that we built in. The other assumption is that we have built in also the cost. Remember, we work on a contract basis, and it's based on how we negotiate prices. But we've built in those cost estimates and projections, inflation, because if we use the figures that we've been using in the south side, we haven't changed the prices since 2001. So in the projection for Orange Walk, we built in some inflation figures in there. And the other thing that we're trying to do in Orange Walk is we want to set up also a clinic for the elderly, just like Mercy Clinic. That would be the second one in the country. If you haven't visited Mercy Clinic, I invite you all to visit it. The facility doesn't look very impressive, but the service that is being provided to the elderly there is incredible. It's one of the model services in the whole Caribbean, actually. And we want to build a similar one in Orange Walk. Now, the cost to provide services for the elderly is 3 times the cost of what it costs to provide normal individuals.
Prior to the Prime Minister's announcement, NHI services for Orange Walk were put out to tender. And according to Dr. Figueroa, tenders from at least 5 clinics in 5 different zones across the district will be approved. The tendering process is still being undertaken, but it is already in its final stages.
First, we went in to explain to them how it works, because I don't think a lot of people still don't understand how it works. And then we explained because we did a geographic distribution of the Orange Walk district by zones and populations, so that look at access. In the north part of Orange Walk, where would be the best clinic to deal with the access for that part, the south, the west, the east, and even the town itself was divided into 2 municipal, north and south. So once we did that distribution, geographic and population distribution, with the assistance, actually we didn't do it on ourselves. We had people from Orange Walk, SIB, the town council people, the Ministry of Health people who know the population movement, assist us in creating those geographic and population distribution. Then we advertised. We said, all right, these are the zones. Who is interested in providing clinical services, what we call primary care provider services in the zones that we have identified? Pharmaceutical services, lab services, and imaging service, which would be the X-rays. And then once they have sent in so we have a timeline. We advertised on the media. We did the presentations first in Orange Walk. We advertised in the media, in social media as well. And then we gave a timeline. Then we went in, looked at all those who expressed interest, and then we went in to do an assessment of the facilities, because you could apply as a pharmacy, but if you don't have the standards and the quality, then you can't be included. So we've done that initial phase. The other phase now is for them to submit proposals as to how are they going to provide the services based on the standards and requirements of the National Health Insurance.
The deadline for those proposals to be submitted was today. The last time the original Punta Rebels band performed as a collective, it was about 25 years ago. But the promoter of a Punta Rebels concert scheduled for this Saturday feels that the event will be so hype that it will draw even those people to the Bird's Eye. Mark Usher is the production's promoter for SAPI, singers, athletes, artists, poets, and players of instruments. He has planned a concert that he believes will compel the young and the young at heart to attend.
Now, this one is for you. Are you ready?
Yeah! The way they look for darling.
How they look for Siri, Granny. Save it. What's up, the lamp? It's Punta Rebels time. SAPI Incorporated, alongside Fathercraft Promotion, bring to you the greatest Garifuna band ever. The bad boys of Punta Rock. Punta Rebels return for an encore performance.
SAPI really is responsible, and we want to really push local bands.
artists and live music, let's say that. And so we decided to start off with the Punta Rebels reunion, and that will be held at Birds Isle this Saturday.
Okay, how did you manage to pull that off? Punta Rebels have been split up for what, over a decade?
Well, here's the thing now, it's like poetry, right? Because when Punta Rebels launched in 1997, I was a promoter back then, and my promotions company, we took Punta Rebels all over the country. We even took them as far as Chatham Hall. Okay. And we both had a lot of success. So when I saw that they were back together, all the original members, I told Super, hey Super, we have to do the Belize District, the Belize City version. And he said yes, we work out the logistics, and now we are ready to go Saturday.
So you have how many members strong from the original band?
Everybody. I'm going to try to name all of them, but you have Lloyd, you have Reckless, you have Super G, you have the drummer, sorry I can't remember his name, the original drummer. You have Mr. Obando, who is the original keyboardist, and my main man, Skull, the man we used to do the most energy. Skull is also there. He's a second keyboard player. The Rebels never come and cheat you off your money. They want to perform, right? But let me also say that on the undercard is what I would call the new Rebels when it comes to energy, Bossa B Band. Sure you have heard of them. This is a band that has been kicking up storm. These are young teenage boys and probably in early 20s, and they have been doing a marvelous job pushing the music at that same level. And then we also have another up-and-coming star who is Hubi. I hope I pronounced the name correct, Hubi. Hubi is a solo artist, and he will be a name to look out for down the future. And of course, my personal superstar, Bad Girl Sharon, is on the card.
Yes me, your girl Bad Girl Sharon. I'm here, yes me back with another one. Fearless, spit fire like dragon. I'm here with trouble like Dennis Fahiwagan, like Andres Obrador. Yes me presidential.
And you know, she brings a little different flavor, but all her lyrics they are always authentic and original, and they come with a message. So we had to bring her on the card. So you're literally looking at 5 hours of quality live entertainment. Not to say that we won't have the DJs. We have DJ Lala, we have DJ Sambo and Brown, and we have DJ Brick.
The concert gates open up at 7 p.m. on Saturday, and the first artist will take the stage at 8:30. Tickets purchased in advance at Birds Isle or at any of the 2 neighbors stores at the Cinderella Plaza and on Cemetery Road near the roundabout will cost $35. On concert night, tickets purchased upon entry will cost $40 each. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.